All right, so part two. Part two of this video is actually getting this put into a brand new case with a brand new power supply now that we were able to determine what the problem is. Like I said in part one, like this is kind of crappy. Like that's fine. You can really see how much this is sticking out over here. Like it's sticking out enough that this, like I'm gonna try and screw this down a little bit more to see if it'll straighten out the motherboard at all. But this thing took a good whack, and it's gonna have a, even when I put it in the new case, it's gonna have a little bit of a bend to it. So we just have to kind of be careful with it. So set this off to the side, and you might be asking, hey, what case are we gonna put this into? Well, I'd like to thank the fine folks over at Corsair for developing this case, because I absolutely love it. It's a 4000D. It's one of like my most built-in cases at this point. I probably built well over 100 computers in this case, and I very much like it. It's the 4000D Airflow in black. And we're going to get everything built in here and everything cable managed in here before we get that power supply in, which is going to be picked up now. Because if I can salvage these fans for him, that'd be nice. We'll have to check them all. Let's see if we can salvage some RGB for this guy. Oh, we should be able to make that work with this. Alright, pull out this front fan. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take two of these, we're going to mount two of these up top. Actually, we might let like all three up top, and then we'll see what I do here. Move some stuff around. Spread out this cooling across everything. I think it'll end up making it nice. Look kind of nice. One thing we will not need that we can take out, just for a little bit of extra building room, in the bottom of the Corsair case, the 3.5 hard drive rack. Not going to need it, but it's cool that it comes with it just in case. Alright, let's get that out of there. We got the box with the new screws and everything. Alright, so let's figure out where we want to put these. So the hottest component that's going to be in this is going to be this guy, and this is a 2060, so it's not even going to be that hot. So to make this guy look decent, we're going to we'll put two fans up top for that kind of ambient light. So we'll do two up top, and then we'll do one up front here, and then well actually I should have just left that one where it was. So let's go ahead and start getting these guys installed. That screw feels stripped. Have to take those screws out. Let me see if there's more fan screws in this box. It's not something I typically use. Yep, I love this case too, man. It's one of my favorite cases to build in. It's convenient, it's good for most mid-sized builds, and it's pretty sturdy. It's not get run over by a truck sturdy by any means, but it's pretty darn sturdy. All right, yeah. So we're gonna use the Corsair screws. They have a little bit larger head on them. That's true. The tint is a little bit dark, but like I get why they do it, so that your RGB gets this nice scenic effect on it. We got more fans, bro. We got fans for your fans. We're gonna add one more nice little intake for the front here. All right, that's in there. All right, so we have our 4 fan setup. Let's pull these cables through real quick. Quick cable management through the top here. All right, so we now have a 5-fan setup in there. We got the standard one from Corsair, then we have the one that we took from the old case. 2 more up top, 1 on the back. So we have quite a few fans. All right, let's go ahead and get this back in here. All right, everything lines up. Let's go ahead and get our motherboard screws, which that's the next computer that's coming up. The next computer, the guy built it using tapping screws. Well, we'll see how that computer turns out. Cool. We are good. All right, so let's get these screws in these standoffs. And when you're doing these, you always got to make sure you are using the right screws for the standoffs. If it doesn't just screw in, don't force it. That means you're using the wrong screws. That's a life lesson. If it doesn't fit, don't force it. The number of times that I've seen, like, just wait till later. Like the next computer that I'm going to be working on, the guy couldn't get the screws to line up. So he went and got bigger screws and just tapped them into the motherboard. So that's fun. If it doesn't fit, don't force it. It's a pretty good rule of thumb when it comes to electronics. There's other things in life that doesn't apply to. The next part, we're going to go ahead and get GPU installed. I went ahead and reattached the lift mechanism here to the motherboard. Hope it all lines up. There we go. Nice and secure. Clicked right in. Okay. So now we have, this computer is basically ready to go. The only thing we're going to be lacking is going to be a power supply. So now let us go ahead and do some cable management. These cables are going to come up through the bottom. I was wrong. We're going to end up using the bottom for almost everything. All these extra cables are just such a aggravation for keeping things looking neat. All right, so here's what we're going to do. There is a spot here that I like running cables, which is right through here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to run, when I get it, we're going to run a power cable up the bottom through here. It's going to come underneath the video card and it's going to come out right there. And it's going to come out and it's going to come over and it's going to plug in. And that is going to help me hide some extra cables as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hide as many of these cables coming up the bottom as possible. That's going to go there, but it's going to be hidden. You can't see. It's going to be hidden along the bottom here. So all of these cables that you see here are just going to run like this. And then we're going to have the PCI power cable that's going to come up this way. And then once that cable gets in and we plug in the video card, all of the cable management will be done, and then this will be ready to go. That's done. I have a couple more zip ties that I'll end up cutting here. Nothing major. This guy got very lucky. Could have been a lot worse for him. He could have lost like major components. That's why I'm excited to get to that next computer too. So cables I know we're going to need. We are going to need our big power supply. We're going to need a single CPU cable. There's that, and I need 1 Molex. That should be all the cables I need for this. So now, let's get these cables run. And then once our cables are run, then we toss the power supply in there. And then this build should be good to go and out the door. Now, what we're going to do with this guy is kind of what I was talking about. We are going to cable manage not only that fan cable, so because this is going to end up being a little bit tight because of where these connectors actually are on here. So the way this is going to be in there, this is going to be kind of pulled tight. So we're going to end up seeing how well that does. That's why I didn't want to put an extra zip tie on there. All right, so that's 2 cables. This Molex connector, I'm actually going to toss a zip tie around it because we actually don't need this to go anywhere. And now it's there, and all I have to do is plug that into the power supply and we're done. Created this nice single bundle of cables coming up from the bottom that pretty much, unless you're looking for it, hides everything. Do not try this with 40 series cards, what I'm doing here. It only works on older cards. And now, we give it one quick power on self-test, and then away we go. Move on to our next computer. 3, 2, 1. We have power on the motherboard. Alright, and that's it. That is this computer rebuilt. Let's button it all up now. That goes there. Call this guy up. Say, hey, your computer's ready. Front. That. And now we got our side. Hey, thanks for watching that video. You can check out some of the other videos for more tech-related content. And if you want to catch me live, I am on Twitch at twitch.tv/SpecVengeance, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come hang out, chat, and maybe learn a thing or two. Thanks for watching.